Hello, fellow Rotarians in Brisbane. Greetings from Singapore. My name is Jack Sim. I'm the founder of the World Toilet Organization as well as the BOP Hub, which stands for the Base of the Pyramid Hub. 116 years ago, Paul Harris founded with a group of friends the Rotary Club, and the first project was to build a public toilet. We have now come full circle to talk about this subject on a very important year during the COVID-19 crisis which we are still in now. Why is toilet and hygiene so important? Each year, 2 million people die of diarrhea due to poor hygiene and lack of proper sanitation. Some don't even have a toilet to begin with, and they practice open defecation. Nobody pay attention to it. Every year, imagine the same number of people that died of COVID. Up till now, COVID has killed 2.3 million people and infected more than 100 million people. And for the same number of people who died, the entire world went to a shutdown. It's very important not to allow the spread of COVID. It's also very important not to allow the spread of diarrhea. It makes no difference whether they are rich, middle class, or poor people. COVID has shown us that if we do not prevent a disease, to cure it or to solve it is much more expensive. The world has printed trillions of dollars just to help people tide through this difficult time. Half of all the jobs in the world are now affected. A lot of people has lost their income. Imagine this same problem is happening in the rural area in the developing countries. These same problems are also creating suffering, joblessness. And if we understand the pain we suffer in COVID, we should also want to understand the pain that is suffered by the poor. In the world, there are 7.8 billion people today, but out of which 4 billion are earning less than $8 a day. The people are called the base of the pyramid. And this number of people have a potential market size of 12 trillion US dollars. If we were to convert and trade with the poor and do business with them, train them, give access to credit, access to technology, access to knowledge, access to customer, then they will also be able to get out of poverty in a very similar way like us. The market opportunity of the base of the pyramid, how big is it? Every year, 1 billion people are without electricity. So solar energy supplier can have a very big marketplace in this sector. 1.3 billion people are without lighting. 1.6 billion people without adequate housing. 2.5 billion people have no toilets. And 4 billion people have no internet. 4.5 billion people have no sewage treatment. 820 million people are living without enough food and in starvation. 9 million die of hunger every year. 780 million are without clean drinking water. and 750 million people are uneducated. In the past, we have been seeing this problem as a charity donation problem. Charity does not solve the problem. The only solution is found when we teach the people to help themselves, train them to solve the problem by building the capacity, investing in them. So in reality, this is not a problem but a market opportunity. Only market-based solution can solve this problem. The BOP Hub purpose is that we saw 4,000 social entrepreneurs with very good business model available to solve this problem, but not gone to scale. We have seen governments, NGOs, funders, academia, media, they're all not working in synchronization. All talents, solution, money and business model are available, but they are fragmented. Our job is to bring them all together, harmonize them, incentivize them to work with one another so that they can create more impact for the same resources that they put in, and to get whatever aspiration that they want to. Businesses could do more business with the farmers, fishermen, and slum dwellers, convert them into customers, and make them your trading partner. This is the only way we can get them out of poverty. Academia can do research, and the Rotary Club, of course, can accelerate the capacity building and the linkages of converting the poor into entrepreneurs and unlocking their good work ethics and spirit of enterprise. I know this is possible because in Singapore, I was born 1957. I grew up in an attap house, very poor housing with no toilet, and an outhouse with the British bucket system. The country became independent in 1965, and within 25 years, it transformed itself from a third world country to a first world country. How did we do it? First thing, we refuse foreign aid. We attract foreign investment. We were unskilled, uneducated, but we were hardworking. And poor people are very entrepreneurial. So what we did was to ask foreigners to come and train us, to employ our people, and to get us skilled so that we can become self-dependent. We turned from third world to first world, and today we are the fourth highest per capita income country in the world. If Singapore can prove that this is possible, then all other countries in Africa, Latin America, Asia, Pacific Island, and Eastern Europe can also do the same. We can all unlock people's potential instead of giving them a fish, teach them to fish, modernize the fishing industry, and make sure you have sustainable fishing behavior. 95% of Singaporeans own their own houses. Public housing is used and bought by 80% of all the people. Employment is almost full. We are crime-free and corruption-free. All these are possible if leadership is available. We created the BOP World Convention, and we invited everybody to create trade shows so that the farmers can make more money if they were to sell with a higher value added product. Imagine that if you are drinking a cup of Starbucks coffee, it's $5, but in that cup of coffee, it is only 3 cents of coffee bean going to the farmers. $4.97 is going to the rest of the cost. Imagine that the cost of operation for the farmers is 2.5 cents, which means he earned half a cent for each cup of coffee, enough to feed his family. So if we were to give 1 cent per cup of coffee more value added to the farmers, we would easily have tripled their income, net income. So this is the kind of thing that's actually very easy, but our distribution of wealth today is so skewed and so unfair that we should start thinking how we can appreciate a cup of coffee while thinking about improving the farmer's life. And we should do the same for anything, whether you are eating bread, thinking of wheat or rice or chili sauce, whatever. Think about how we can have a fairer, more distributed marketplace. The UN has now 17 SDG, and the way I look at it is that if we want people to have clean water, toilets, healthcare, housing, electricity, all the transportation and everything, you have to address the SDG number 8, which is livelihood and decent jobs. If you can help them start business and help them build their own livelihood, as long as they earn money, they will be able to buy healthcare, send their children to school, buy filtered water, buy solar panels, and all the rest can be taken care of by itself. So focusing on SDG number 8, decent livelihood, is very, very critical. BOP Hub that I've set up is now part of a global network bringing all the resources of all the social entrepreneurs around the world. We found 4,000 of them with proven business model, and we want to scale them up and replicate them. We also partner with the National University of Singapore, and we grew a lot of startups using the university as well as working with international people. So why is it that I believe that it is possible for us to end poverty for 4 billion people, and how do I get the experience of creating a global movement? In 2001, I started the World Toilet Organization because there were 2.6 billion people that do not have access to proper sanitation. It was a very big number, 2.6 billion people. How can we deliver proper sanitation to such a big number of people? I discovered that it is actually possible. The subject itself is a taboo, and when you talk about toilets, it sounds rude. And if you use words like poop and shit and pee, then it's really disgusting. So the only way to communicate this through the media and make it palatable was to make it humorous. So we call ourselves the World Toilet Organization with the acronym WTO. Our whole intention was to play a pun on the World Trade Organization, which is also called the WTO, and I hope that they will sue me and the toilet agenda will become very famous and popular and highly visible in the media. They didn't sue me, and therefore we can continue to use the acronym WTO, and the end result is the sanitation agenda became popular and we became famous, and we are able to move an entire global belief system and mindset from not talking about toilet to engaging, building toilets, and seeing it as a very, very important agenda. So the power of storytelling is really amazing. When we start telling story to the media writes about it because what is the interest of the media? To sell story, readership, earn advertising income. So the way we tell the story with very, very good blend of humor and serious facts, with photograph, soundbite, and sacrificial shots like myself sitting on a toilet bowl, these are very, very powerful for them to tell the story. In the beginning, the people laughed at us. They thought I was a joke, but the lesson to learn is that when they laugh at you, they're listening to you. So humor has such a big power in us telling the stories. Our founding day was the 19th of November when we started the first World Toilet Summit. We named that day the World Toilet Day. Just because we call it the World Toilet Day, the media wrote about it year after year, and every year more and more people use World Toilet Day 19 November to do street protests, press conferences, clean toilet campaign. Some even lobby that ladies should have more toilets so that they do not have to queue up while the gents have urinals. They need more toilet cubicles. The number of people who don't have toilets, they started to become vocal, and it became an activist day. Suddenly, politicians start to realize that this is an election agenda. Because if the media writes so much about it, it means there's a demand, which means there's a vote bank. When politicians start to promise toilet, the bureaucrats start to deliver public policy and allocate funding. Then the academia plan the research to augment and give evidence to the solution. The technologists and engineers come in to design off-grid systems which are low cost and practical for use. The celebrities like Matt Damon, like Shah Rukh Khan, Amitabh Bachchan, Vidya Balan, all came up. President Clinton came to endorse us, and along the way, we get a lot of legitimacy. Soon, we went to the United Nations in 2013 with the support of the Singapore government, and we tabled the UN resolution that was unanimously adopted by all 193 countries of the UN General Assembly. And they named our founding day the official UN World Toilet Day. From that day onwards, this legitimacy created even bigger momentum, and now President Xi Jinping of China is the champion of China toilet revolution. Tourism toilet, school toilet has changed tremendously, and now rural toilet is the big project. Prime Minister Modi has just completed building 110 million toilets in India. This is the biggest toilet construction project in the entire history of mankind. We also started the World Toilet College in Aurangabad in Maharashtra state. We worked together with Reckitt Benckiser to create the Harpic World Toilet College. Harpic is a brand of bleach, and they also have another brand called Dettol. Together, we train and place 2,000 sanitation workers from unskilled to professional, and they are then put to jobs in shopping center, in hospital, and in office building. Sanitation require a lot of professional worker. we need to create world toilet colleges everywhere. If you would like to set up a new world toilet college in any part of your district, please contact me, because while the jobs is created, the workers feel dignified. It's no more an unskilled work. It's a very professional cleaning to the level of the Japanese standard, and the jobs creation plus the public health creates a very, very good impact. Our work has been recognized and honored by many bodies. The Time magazine named me the hero of the environment in 2008. Queen Elizabeth gave me the Points of Light Award in 2018. We also received the Luxembourg Peace Prize and a whole series of other partners with President Clinton and different governments in the world. In Brazil, we lobbied for the public-private partnership law to be passed, and we got a bill passed so that the 50% of sewage which are not treated in Brazil now attracted $13 billion investment, and the rivers can become clean. Before that, they just dump all their shit into rivers, lakes, sea, beaches, and now the rivers are clean, the lakes, the water bodies, they are all free from fecal contamination. And of course, if it is dirty, you spread a lot of disease downstream. Other area we want to address is menstrual hygiene, because there's a lot of girls who cannot afford sanitary pad. There's a lot of practices that makes it a taboo, and there's a lot of privacy issues that are involved. Our work attracted the President of India, the Crown Prince of Holland, and a lot of dignitaries came in to support. Each year we have World Toilet Summit in a different countries, and each year we leave behind a legacy. I have used all the money I have left to build a World Trade Center for the poor. In 2001, I made a commitment with President Clinton that there will be a World Trade Center for the poor in Singapore. I went to the bank and raised the money and built a 10 million Australian dollar building in Singapore next to an MRT station called Ubi Station. The whole idea is to copy all the social entrepreneur model, mash them up together, create a harmonization across businesses, social sector, government, academia, media, funders, to create fintech, agri-tech, logistic tech, edu-tech, water tech, healthcare, housing, and to build the life of the poor in the same way that Singapore has got out of poverty. China has copied this model since 1978, and in the last 30 years, they have gotten 700 million people out of poverty. Rwanda also call themselves the Singapore of Africa, and is today the fastest growing African state. We are right now working very hard in the northeastern part of Brazil called Recife, and next to the Port Suape. We are working with the mayors there to create a Singapore of Brazil, using the same economic model to get the people out of poverty. I think that the model of development, together with making people work hard, creating a non-corrupt bureaucracy. These are all the key ingredients: rule of law, pride of people, ease of doing business, international trade, and value addedness, continuously upgrading the outcome of the producers of the people. Today, with technology, it is so much easier to have a globalized trading system. We should go to each of these developing countries and help the poor to connect with the rest of the world. And I think it will be very, very much faster than Singapore, because we did it in the pre-internet age. And now we have 5G speed that can solve poverty very rapidly. I believe we can achieve the Sustainable Development Goal of the UN by 2030 to a very large extent if we work together. I would like to invite Rotarians to start to think about poverty alleviation projects, sanitation projects anywhere in your district, but also cross-pollinating with other Rotary clubs in other developing countries, so that multiple clubs can join together to do bigger projects that are sustainable, and try not to build toilets, but to help them build toilets. Try not to give them food or supplies, but to give them equipment and set up small little factory. If we teach the people to help themselves, we can help them get out of poverty, and we can do it once and it become a sustainable business model. Life is a very short period of 80 years. Every day I have a countdown on my phone, and right now I have only 5,800 overdays before my expiry on my 80th birthday. You know, you never know when you're going to die, but I budget to die on my 80th birthday. So by framing it into a fixed time, I remove the anxiety and the fear of dying and start to treasure every single day as a precious day that must be made useful. We can only do what we can do while we're alive. So make good use of every moment, every day, to do service, because service is the higher exchange for time, and time is the only currency of life. When time runs out, life runs out. It doesn't matter how much money you have, it matters how much impact you have created. I look forward to visit Brisbane and your club when COVID is over, and perhaps to work with you on projects that can unlock the spirit of enterprise and good work ethics of the people, improve their quality of life. Thank you very much.